Hello everyone, I'm Alan, also known as McLaren 2009, and today I'm playing Derail Valley. I picked up exactly where I left off before. I'm still at the military base, still have locomotives 76 and 77. And today I'm going to be hauling, I'm thinking these. We're going to take these infectious substances and we're going to run them wherever they need to go. So let's find out where they need to go. Military base. They're all extremely light. Now that's weird. These have exactly the same cargo, but this one's worth twice as much. Alright, let's get all three. Going to the military base, or going to the harbor military base. Alright, B2, B3, and B5. Okay, we'll get B5 last. B2 will be first. 3 will be in the middle, 5 will be last. Alright, so let's get the tracks lined up. Okay, so we've got 2, 3, and 5. Alright. And then in theory it shouldn't matter in the slightest because there's only one inbound track at the harbor military base, so it'll all work out. Alright, reverser's neutral. Come on. It says on Steam you can play the game seated, but that's probably not the best thing to do. It would be kind of cool if you had to actually prime the engine. Neutral. Yeah, sometimes it's kind of hard to play it in a seated position. Even though I pretty much only play this one in a seated position because honestly it would be a mess. Alright, let's grab my remote. Alright. Turn off the independent. And let's get backed up to this train. Let's get backed up to these cars. Alright, so what I'm thinking is I'm gonna go down this way and bring it in that way. It's a little bit easier, it's mostly downhill. And there aren't too many times when these will derail on or split apart on me. Trucks are pretty cool though. And they're each worth about 50 grand. So this will be a pretty good job, all things considered. All right. I'm really looking forward to the day-night cycle. The headlights, the multiple unit servicing. Basically, there's a lot of stuff that I'm really looking forward to with the simulator update. All right. Be at this switch. Because next up is track 3. And the truth is, this load is going to be extremely light. Even with all 3 of these cuts of cars, it's not at all going to be worth having 2 locomotives. And it's only 9 cars. 9 extremely light cars. Yeah, 19,000 kilograms. Alright. Now, it probably was not a good idea to just stop the car using, or just stop the train with the independent brake, but we're going pretty slow. So it shouldn't make too much of a difference. And you know what? Let's go over to track 5. Grab my remote. Alright. Damn it. Alright. Now we have our caboose. And of course I went to the wrong place, so didn't even bother checking the right set of cars. Alright, so put that across. Hook that. Brakes. It is a lot more fun, game-wise, to actually manually interact with the cars and stuff. Alright, I need to get over here. Oh, actually, I need to be over here. It says it's level, but it's about to be an uphill battle. Alright, so you look at the wallet down here, it's still got a little shy of $850,000. So 10 grand to summon the caboose isn't the end of the world. That off. Because here's the last 3 cars. Okay, get past the switch. Or at least past the actual switch in the track. And once again, we're pushing the independent a lot more than we're supposed to. Wait a minute. Those weren't in there. Matter of fact, let me go check on that. Because if any of the logistics ones are going back to the harbor, I could just do those. Let's slow that down a little bit. Alright, let's see. Because these don't seem to have a... Yeah, see, they don't even have a job. I have no idea what's up with that. Weird. Alright. Keep bringing it back nice and slow. Get coupled into these. And we'll get underway. Alright. Alright, now push it all back to the caboose. don't know if it does anything yet, but let's just make sure this is off. Okay, let's, as we're going back, double check all of the coupling. That's good. That's good. That's good. Actually, there's one other thing I should look at. Yep. Good. Good. Huh? I mean, it's good, but I don't know what's going on there. It's best not to think about it. Good. Good. Alright, now most of this is going downhill, so this isn't too bad. Well, this part is going uphill. Alright, so let's kill the throttle. And realistically, what I could do is go back and turn off the second locomotive, because I'm not really going to need it. Yeah, B7I. They're all going to be 7i. But it's only like a couple hundred, like in total, it's like just a couple of tons. So it's going to be extremely light. The good thing about keeping both of the locomotives on, we won't have to throttle up too far. Like right now we're just in notch 3. are still going uphill, but we don't need to be going too fast. Plus the caboose, 2 locomotives. It'll be an easy day. See about picking something else up at the harbor. Let's go up to 3. Yeah, really short train this time. Is what I was thinking was I could back up to the iron mine and then take something down to the steel mill. But that would involve turning right at this intersection, going back up around this loop, and then coming back down and going around this way. When this way I'm just going down here and into there. It's shorter and not worth, and it's shorter and easier, and it's worth a decent amount of money in the game, but at this point it doesn't particularly matter. Alright, so see, speed limit's still 40, so don't want to go too fast. Especially not around this curve, as this one looks pretty tight on the map. Oh, and then right over there is Iron Mine East. Yeah, Iron Mine East would pretty much only have stuff going to the steel mill. But just like when you go to the military base, if you want to be facing the right way and not have to use a turntable, you would want to go up this long way around regardless. Just so that you can back in. Because as you can see, there is no like Y that you can turn around in. You just have this switch where you drive past it and back in. Or you could pull in, and I don't know if there's a turntable or enough space to turn around back there. And we're about to start going downhill anyway. So let's kill the throttle to start coasting. Put that down. I don't need that right now. Alright, and then here's the branch where you can back into the coal mine. that's another one that would pretty much only have something going to the steel. And we can go 60, but we don't want to actually go 60. Just to kind of play it safe, if you will. And we're already up over 25 minutes. So, yeah, guaranteed we're not getting a speed bonus for this job. Alright, 2% down. So basically going up, this would be bad. But slightly not as bad as going up that way. Because there's that 3-something% grade around there, whereas this is a 2% grade. So this would be easier to go up. But it would just be a logistics run, taking empty cars and then it would be a straight shot down. All in all, this is a pretty good loop. Like, you go to the harbor, you go to the military base, run something big and dangerous up to the actual military base, and then bring these things back. It's a fairly straightforward trip. But there are a couple of like loops you can make. Like the common ones that I normally do. I'll go steel mill, goods factory, oil well, city southwest, machine factory, and back. Basically, I kind of just use the harbor as like my central hub, where I kind of always go back. Now the good news is, there is a Y intersection, so you actually could turn around and then just back up the mountain, but that just seems like such a bad idea, thinking about it. And this load weighs like nothing, so I'll like barely need initial reduction to just start slowing down. But that's a problem. Alright, we're under 30. I've only made this trip a couple of times, so I forgot that it goes down to 30 there. I don't know the area as well as I could, but haven't heard the audible ping that tells you it derailed yet. So we're safe in that regard. Although I guess the advantage to keeping the second locomotive instead of just like clearing it or despawning it that's a second set of independent brakes that are all controlled by whatever you've designated as your lead locomotive. Down a little bit. Let's try to keep it under 30, at least for a little while. Yeah, basically, you look back at this. Yeah, the bonus would have been at 37 minutes. So I would have to already be there. I'm not even halfway down, and I'm already at the limit for the time bonus. So yeah, I've just kind of accepted at this point that I'm just not getting a time bonus ever again. But I have this feeling that when the simulator update comes out, I'll probably be playing on the realistic difficulty because I prefer to play slow and methodical when I do this. Alright, we don't have any more sharp turns until right about there, so we can probably let it speed up a little bit. But notice how I am not using the throttle. There's no reason to apply the throttle unless I'm literally coming to a complete stop. Gravity will literally allow you to speed up. Now we're going over the goods factory, or the track entrance to the goods factory. Okay. Probably applied a little more brake than I needed there. Yeah, there's the tunnel, and there's the goods factory. That one's a pretty cool one to go to. Yeah, see, I'm not even halfway there, and I'm already at 37, or at almost 35 minutes. And really, I started the stopwatch right after I hit go live. So that's a minute or two ahead of when I started the load. But the point is, I'm not getting all the way to there in 5 minutes. There's just no way. Then I gotta uncouple, or I gotta split up the cars. They're only going onto one track, and I'm not gonna bother unloading them. I'm probably gonna do a civilian job, probably going out to like City Southwest or the machine factory. so I won't even interact with these cars. But I'm still gonna cut them into their 3 separate loads, so our fictional yard workers don't have to figure out which ones are which. They can just grab them and go. Starting to slow down. Alright, well that one's 40, and yeah, it's leveling out, so gotta speed up a little bit. Try to keep it around 35. And as you can see, with this extremely light load, Notch 2, we're already accelerating. I know it's not something you would see on an actual locomotive, but it would be kinda cool if there was like the little accelerometer, like what Train Sim World has. I really use that a lot to tell me whether I should increase or decrease the throttle. It tells me whether I'm speeding up, slowing down, and how quickly you're speeding up or slowing down. It doesn't like give you like a number, it just tells you, okay, we're increasingly getting faster in this direction or this direction. Stuff like that. And it's just a really useful piece of information, at least in my opinion. But I'm just some random person that really likes this game for some reason. Yeah, even if you figure in the extra 2 minutes to get signed up for the jobs, I'm already past the time bonus. And I'm just barely halfway there. And according to this, I've been in VR for 44 minutes. Alright, let's slow down a little bit. It says we can go 70, but this corner is going to get a little tight. It goes down to 60 right here. I think it's going to go down again just before the switch. Yeah, this would be completely uphill. But with an empty car. And it levels out. Another thing that I'm really curious about with the update is the ability to zoom in on signs. I don't know how that's going to work in VR. I'm hoping it's just with like the Switch remote. but the ability to just kind of be looking at something, and then you pull out the remote, and then it's like, okay, which way is this signal facing, or which way is this switch facing? Just that little prompt that tells you what sign you're looking at, because in VR the resolution's a little bit weird, so like it's kind of fuzzy. Like now I can make out that that's a 6, so I can go 60 kilometers an hour. But there are a couple of times when you might want to be able to make out that information a little bit faster. Like specifically right here, down by City Southwest, you come around this stretch right here, and it goes to like 30 kilometers an hour, like right there. And you gotta slow down well ahead of that, or you're gonna derail. Although, truthfully, you're probably gonna derail anyway, but that's another thing entirely. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I need to verify my game files or something. Maybe something got corrupted. Which honestly would not surprise me, considering they haven't really done too many updates that I'm aware of on the game as it sits now. It seems like most of their effort has been put towards the simulator update, which honestly that's great, because from all of the media that I've seen so far about what's coming in the update, it basically sounds like they rebuilt the entire game from the ground up. So I can understand why their attention has been almost entirely dedicated to that. But considering how long it's been since I remember an update for the main branch of the game, I just don't know. Maybe something when I was messing with the files on my computer got messed up somewhere. And now those weird things about breaking apart multiple unit locomotives and random bumps or invisible bumps in the track. The string-line derailments on straight track. Maybe it's just me that's dealing with it. Maybe it's not like a universal thing that everybody's dealing with. Oh, that's that. Okay. Or maybe everybody is dealing with it and I've just never bothered reporting the bug. But it's something that's getting fixed. I don't know. Alright. Still go 60. Let's speed up a little bit. Try to keep it around 45. I did not intentionally plan that. That was just good timing. Yeah, let's keep it around 45. Well, that's pretty handy because the speed limit's 50. And as per usual, horn for good luck. If I actually start streaming regularly, I'll have to somehow make that into like an emote or something. Keeping speed at 40. This should be downhill, but I guess we're kind of in like a plateau. Hard to say. It's sort of a terrain map, but not exactly. Alright, let's ease back a little bit. Let's ease back a lot. Alright, now we're going downhill. Let's try to keep it under 50. Alright, we're speeding up again. So let's set the brake a little bit. Then what we'll have to do is, since we'll be coming in on the E track, we're going to go around, go through this Y, we're going to dump off the caboose in front of the roundhouse, and then we're going to pull all 9 cars up onto the, up past the Y, and then back into the inbound track at the harbor military base. And then all we gotta do is just pull forward. Oh, no, actually, we do not pull forward. We go back onto the Y and then back up to the roundhouse for maintenance. And then I can split my locomotives in two, or I can split my locomotives, service them individually, and park them both in the roundhouse where they're supposed to be. It'll all work out. Keep an eye on the speedometer. Set the brake a little bit. Release the brake. Alright, now we're coming out of the mountains and we're getting up to the final stretch into the harbor, or into the back side of the harbor. The funny thing about the automatic brake is that it's not instant. You have to set the brake and then give it a couple of seconds to propagate along the length of the train. So at least what I've started doing between this and Train Sim World, I will set the automatic brake until I see the speed start dropping, and then once I've given it a couple of seconds to drop to about where I want it to, I'll completely release the automatic brake and allow it to build up air pressure again. But I would also be relying heavily on my dynamic brake, and if the dynamic brake's not holding well enough, I'll mix in the independent brake while I'm waiting for the main air brakes to pressurize again. Now this goes into the E track, that goes into the P track, and then that other one there goes to G. I don't know if there's anything up there, just apparently a really steep hill with nothing on it. Alright. Let's grab this. Let's grab the remote. Turn that on. Alright, now let's get out of the locomotive. Yeah, I'll jump off at 20. That's gonna be fine. Although really I should jump off on this side if I'm gonna do it. And this is the main line for this branch. So this will always be clear. Unless you intentionally put something there. Actually, while we're at it, let's grab my map and bring that with me. Yeah, with the new update, I'm gonna have to get used to actually using the doors. Can't walk through the walls anymore. Oh boy. No, I want to be... That works. Oh boy. Okay, I have no idea what you're thinking. Okay. Alright. Now I need my remote. That's going to the passenger track. I need... Alright, it's gonna be a pain. Alright, let's stand over here. Maybe I can see it better. Okay. straight like it's supposed to. That's going straight. Because the last time that I was here, I teleported back to the harbor with this locomotive, and it put me right here on this track. But rather than straightening out the track again to go back towards E and the back entrance of the yard, I just left it alone. Oh, no, wrong thing. Throttle, not brake. I apply the throttle when I want to brake, and I apply the brake when I want to apply the throttle. Basically, I don't know what I'm doing. Alright. And I'm gonna get off here. And door's already closed. That's a little thing I'm looking forward to. Like, I'm so used to being able to, like, walk through walls in this that it's going to be completely weird when you can't do that anymore. But at the same time, the reason I always do it that way is because you can't really use the door. Like, you can open the door, but once you step off the locomotive, it'll automatically close. So a thing that I'm really looking forward to is when the locomotive windows and doors will be in whatever position you left them in when you got off the locomotive. I'm hoping that'll also apply to the caboose. I can't see any reason why they wouldn't make it apply to the caboose, but I don't know. On like the Discord, it kind of makes it seem like nobody uses the caboose, even though it's pretty helpful. I don't know, maybe more people use it than I realize. Alright, I want to put the caboose right around here, approximately, because I want it to be away from the junction for the roundhouse, but in such a position that I can easily connect it to my locomotives. Alright. Yeah, that's a pretty good spot for it. Now we'll go on here. Apply the handbrake, even though I don't know if it actually does anything. I think it does, but I don't know for sure. Okay, I 100% remember hooking this to that, because it seems like the game likes that method better. Alright, now we get those past the switch over here. first. Alright, let's make sure... Yep, that's lined up to the inbound. Yep, B7I. Let's not walk on the track, because that's a bad idea. It doesn't seem like it in the game, because in the game you're kind of like immortal. But this is a very dangerous job. I worked in a factory building train cars, and in my orientation, they had to specifically teach that if you're moving a car around in the facility, you are to stand behind it and push. Never, under any circumstances, should you stand in front of it and pull. And then they actually explain why you don't do that. And it turns out it's a simple matter of physics. Heavy thing moving at any speed, the heavy thing is going to win over the lighter thing. And the example that they used was, do not, under any circumstances, allow your steel-toed boot to get anywhere between one of the wheels on the trucks and the tracks. And then I wasn't even working for the company for a couple of months, and then I seen somebody do it. He was in front of the train car, and they were pulling it with, I guess, like the floor winch, like, malfunctioned. So they got, like, everybody in the position together, and they were trying to push the car. Well, this guy was in front of it, pulling the car, and from what I've heard, it caved in his steel-toed boot, and it's like it caved in the steel toe on his boot. His boot had to be cut off. And I'm pretty sure he went home for a little while. And yeah, that was working in a factory. Wasn't even working with, like, assembled consists of train cars. No, those were just individual cars being built on an assembly line. So it's kind of like when I was in the military, I was on a ship, and granted, I was on an LHD, so it's a little bit different than, say, an aircraft carrier, but a flight deck is a flight deck. Going up there is extremely dangerous during flight operations. So when you see, like, the signs painted on the side of the island that say beware of jet blast and rotors, it's gonna sound dumb, but they're not kidding. you will get blown overboard by jet exhaust. You can get taken out by a plane. You can get sucked into a plane. You can also get sucked into a helicopter. That's even less pleasant. And then here, even moving at like really slow speeds, this is a lot of weight. Several hundred tons. You don't want to be in front of that, because if you have to stop it, it's going to go through you until you become a speed bump, and then maybe you'll stop it after it's ground you into paste. That's why we have air brakes running through every car, so the operator or the engineer up in the locomotive can tell the train to stop itself. Just think of like the laws of motion. An object in motion will stay in motion until it's acted on by an outside force. Then you have like momentum. And things like the law of the conservation of energy. Energy is not created or destroyed. It's only transferred and changes states. So basically the force and momentum that this train has, you have to counteract that with another force going in the opposite direction. Let's fully set the independent, release the train brake, and let's start uncoupling cars. Alright. Okay. Alright. 1, 2, 3. And no nuclear flasks this time. So I'm not going to the military base with this set of cars. Or not going back. Oh no, there's some flasks. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Alright, and there is all 3 cuts of cars. And once again, I literally did this by hand. So I know this chain was there. Not this one there. I swear, this game makes me feel like I'm crazy. I mean, I probably am, but now we're just splitting hairs. Alright, and what should have taken 37 minutes has taken at least an hour and 10 minutes. Alright, and we've delivered a plague to the harbor. It says classified, but they're marked with biohazard placards. So my headcanon for the game is we're working for like a private military corporation or something, and we're basically carrying the T-virus from Resident Evil. We're somewhere in Eastern Europe transporting a biological weapon. What Geneva Conventions? We don't definitively know what country we're in. How do we know if we're a signatory nation of any of the things against war crimes? Alright, 52,000, 52,000. And it wasn't quite double the time it was supposed to take. Let's see. Military base, so it's uniforms and nuclear fuel. Yeah, we're not messing with that right now. Okay, and it hit the imaginary roadblock right here. Alright, let's go service some locomotives. Alright, so the plan is get these around that switch and then back them up into the roundhouse. My internet's kind of questionable at best on my computer, so the only thing that ever shows up for me in chat is just like an endless stream of, "You are now connected to chat. You are now connected to chat." And it makes you think somebody's like tuning in, but no, it's just notifying that I am signed into the chat room. I was gonna say that I was gonna wait to apply the independent brake, but I'm not crazy. Someone else saw that too, right? Okay. Is that the problem? Like, the track's not continuous? Alright. Alright. Now let's go over here. And let's switch this into the roundhouse. And we'll just go 10 right there. Alright, let's see if we got stopped again. I guess there's the switch. And there's the weird unassuming or invisible speed bump. Slowed it down, but not by much. Alright. Making progress. we'll just completely ignore the fact that we've fouled the main track going into the harbor by putting a caboose there, but I'm the only one that works here. And more than likely, when I go out of here, I'm going to bring the caboose with me. Here. Alright. And more than likely what I'm going to do the next time is, instead of putting the caboose on the back like I'm supposed to, I'll probably have it on the front, behind my locomotives. Okay, now let's turn this off, because we're not going to need it for a second. That's how we're doing it, I guess. Alright, pick that up. Okay. I have this sinking suspicion that's why you don't uncouple on or that's why you don't couple and decouple on a turn. Okay. I lost my remote. Okay, it's back again. Yeah, I lost my tracking for my left hand. Weirdest thing. Which is kind of unfortunate because my left hand has the OVR controls. So that's how I would see the chat room if anybody was in it. Real quick, and let's use these. Engine, wheels, body, oil, and diesel. $5,000. Okay. Cut off the brake. And let's pull onto the turntable. Throttle down. And stop right there. Okay. Let's make sure. Yep. There's my leading truck. Well on the turntable. It might actually be almost centered on it. impressive. Alright, now let's go one track over. No. No. Close enough. Face through the wall. And let's back up into the roundhouse. Release the throttle. Turn the lights off. What's that sound? Sounded like the buzzing sound you hear when the MU cable breaks. And let's apply the brake. Yep. Neutral, independence fully set, train brake is off. Although really what I would do is turn the handle for the train brake off and cut out the brake controls. Alright. Now we're into the yard. And let's realign the switch, or realign the turntable. Turn this back on. Release the independent. Okay. Now what locomotive do we got over here? 96. 90. 19. And 73. Alright, according to the sign over there, you can cross this at about 20 kilometers, but I would prefer not to do that if I have a choice. Pilot's not very, like, pronounced. At least not like it is on the steam locomotive. Alright. Alright, so just back this thing up into the roundhouse. Alright. Neutral. Turn that off, turn that off. Put that away. I need to go into here. Turn this off, that's off. Neutral. Turn off the electricity. And let's go service this locomotive. It'll be so much easier when you don't have to do it this way anymore. Like, you can just back up one of them and plug it in. And about $5,000. This one was... It was running longer here, but that one was running longer at the military base because I started it first. Alright, now let's go run over to the station office. Don't need those anymore. station office is like so far away from any of the parts of the yard. It would have been easier to go to the military base station office. Alright, now we look at fees. And 77 is slightly higher because I had to move it in order to service it. And we're still just barely under $1 million. Alright, got anything good going out? Freight haul's going to the steel mill. Freight haul's going to a food factory. Actually, there's a couple of good ones going to the steel mill. Well, that's one good one going to the steel mill. I wish the food factory wasn't such a pain to get to. It's like way up there. And it would probably be easier to go up by the steel mill. I mean, that's even better. That's paying pretty good, and that's going to Oil Well Central. And that's going to the farm. That's going to the machine factory. Goods factory. I think we might be onto something. Yeah, the stuff going up to the food factory is clearly where it's at. It's going to be a lovely day. Yes. What a lovely day. Hard to say. Alright, well, this has been a fairly successful stream. I can't complain about it too much. Let's look at stats. Yeah. At this point in the game, you're not really working on anything, you're just kind of doing it just to do it. So it'll be nice to start over from square one. But in any regard, I would like to thank you all for watching, and have a nice day.